rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you want to be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Yo, set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 So life ain't easy, yo, I think there's a reason though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, though. I always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts are poison, they rot. Head full of flaws, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap all the bad for the good in my head when I'm lost. Yeah, so I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive thoughts are overtaken, I got patience. One day at a time is how you operate a cadence. A flow, you grow, you show yourself a foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes temptation. I know that I like to do it cause it's sensation. I live my life in my head like a narration. Don't expect greatness, do my best, man, I'll take it. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Wake up, really gon' rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Hi, Bullhorn Betty. Thank you for my shirt. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Kids Club.
Tom, it's just a tough subject. A recent study by Brown University showed that nearly 450 children are killed each year by their parents.
My daughters were picked up on a Friday by their father to spend the weekend, and that night he pumped carbon monoxide into their bedroom and slit their throats.
Searches have begun for 2 children killed by their mother in Hopkins County.
9-year-old Hayden King was laid to rest today. Hayden's 4-year-old sister Harper will have a celebration of life service tomorrow morning.
Here's a story that's breaking at 6 o'clock. It's all centered around the 3 people you see on your screen. The key pieces in a Middletown murder case.
On the left is James Hutchinson. Police say the 6-year-old was killed allegedly by his own mother.
East Los Angeles mother was charged today with killing her 3 young children. The youngest was less than 2 months old.
At 6 with breaking news.
Good evening to you, friends. Greg Merriweather along with Elizabeth Vow. Our top story today, that precious little 2-year-old right now. 2 people are facing charges accused of murdering little Nevaeh Allen. Investigators found the 2-year-old dead in Mississippi after several days of searching.
One of those blamed in her death, the girl's mother, Lanaya Cardwell.
Well, good morning, my beautifuls, here on YouTube as well as X. It's nice to see you this morning. I'm not going to stay a whole long time here. Many of you know I've got court. I'm going to be flying out tomorrow. And so today is going to be designated for my finalization day, right? Making sure I'm ready. So I figured I'd go ahead and start out with a live earlier today versus later today, since we already just dropped the video. And we're going to be discussing some of those things that I just dropped in that video, because to be honest with you, it kind of clarifies some things for us. It really does, and it kind of helps solidify some of the stuff that we thought to be true. It seems like it may very well be true. So everybody that's here, thank you for joining me. I'm Bullhorn Betty, and we're going to be talking about the Sebastian Rogers case, which is a 15-year-old boy. He's autistic. He disappeared from his home in Hendersonville, Tennessee, and since then, we don't know what happened to him. We don't know where he went. We just know the story we're being fed is BS. That's what we know. We don't know a whole lot, but we know what we're being fed is a bunch of BS. And at this point, in this juncture of this case, whether people like it or not, because it's my channel, I'm now seeking justice for Sebastian. I'm going to be going out there and searching for him, but from here on out, we're going to be having justice for Sebastian as our hashtag as we start proceeding the rest of this case. And that's because that's how I truly feel. And it's about, how I feel. If you guys feel differently, you're more than welcome to express it, but that's the way I'm going with this now. We're going to be having justice for Sebastian everywhere. Everywhere. Good morning, Southern Grammy. It's nice to see you. Southern Grammy is back home. Yay! Our beautiful Southern Grammy. We love Southern Grammy. Southern Grammy. Just a beautiful soul that wants to make a difference. God bless you. Amanda, it's nice to see you. Laquita, hopefully I said your name right. I butcher people's name. My Hooked on Phonics is broken. You find out there very quickly. I'm sorry. Frankie, Akita Lover, it's nice to see you. Teresa, Deborah. Ooh, we got a Robin in the house. Hi, hey. 35 does, Gigi, GE Girl, it's nice to see you. Casey, Sasha, Life Unscripted, Deborah, it's nice to see you all. If I missed you, Thomas, it's nice to see you. I love your statement. Children are not disposable, even special needs one. CP and KP TikTok. Amen to you. Amen to you. We're tired of the BS. For those that are here, let's go through a lot of the discrepancies that we heard. And correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, correct me if I'm wrong. We learned about this case. We didn't learn about it right away. He disappeared on February 26th. I honestly believe that we started hearing about this case maybe February 29th. We were all focused on the Madeline Soto case. We heard about him, but we really didn't start looking under the hood until, I don't know, about February 29th, did we have February 29th? I think we have February 29th this month. It might have been March 1st. About the time that we learn about this case, Riley Strain is going on. We're all focused on Riley Strain at this moment. And even though we're passing around Sebastian's face, we didn't really pay a whole host of attention to him. It was kind of chill, right? It was kind of chill. But we had such a huge cavalry that came in for Riley Strain. They were like, hey, everybody's in town. Why don't you guys go down just a little bit? I think it was like maybe an hour away and go help out in that case. And people are like, you know what? We're here. Let's do it. And so they went out there and they started helping out. And then all of a sudden, it's like hell broke loose. People were being followed. People were getting threatened that they were going to be sued. Seth and Chris's, behind the scenes stuff kind of boiled over. And Chris is threatening Seth for that they're making him look bad, and we're going to be, they're wanting to sue him over the stepfather telling the biological father, "I'm going to sue you for your Cash App to raise money to find your own biological son." Like, I wanted to smack the stupid off of Chris Proudfoot. I really did. But either way, that's where we're at. So when we started going back, we're like, okay, why is this madness going on in this case? It's a missing autistic 15-year-old boy. We're all like, why so much drama? And then we start looking into the case. We start looking at their interviews. I'm like, what's wrong with these parents? Something, we're looking at that first interview and we're like, something ain't right with these parents. We don't know what it is. We can't put our finger on it, you know? We couldn't put our finger on it, but something just wasn't sitting right with us with that first interview, that green interview. And then of course our beautiful people out there, they're like, something ain't sitting right with me either. I gotta go through this. So they take it and they go snippet by snippet, right? That's what we do over here, okay? We're true crime people, right? So we got this video of, we're going snippet by snippet, right? And then all of a sudden, what are these things on his arm? What does that look like on his arm? And then next thing you know, they're blowing it up. They're circling around. They're sending it to this person, sending it to this person. What do you think that looks like? What do you think that looks like? Next thing you know, you got people coming out here and saying the man's got scratches and bite marks up and down his arm. And starts pointing them out. And so now we're like, okay, what's going on? Let's go back to the beginning. And so we could start going back to the beginning. We start looking into the case. We listen to the very first interview. I'm going to call it the green shirt interview. The green shirt interview, basically Katie said that, she talked about this amazing, beautiful day that they had. Actually, why don't we just listen to it? Why do I need to describe it? Oh, that's right, because we're opening the phone. So let me, I don't want to play all this stuff because it just drags our time out and I don't have the time today to do that. But basically what she said in a nutshell on this green shirt interview was that that her and her son had an amazing day. They went out, they were at BJ's, he got this colossal popcorn, they got a whole bunch of snacks, and the snacks needed to be put away because, the boy needs snacks. I don't know why that whole, it was, I gotta fast forward that part. I don't know what it is about the snacks and the way she says it, that just, it's like a pet peeve. It's like nails scratching on the chalkboard, It's just something about that. So still, Sebastian, she's still not begging for, exactly, she's not begging for, but let's just get back to it. So she tells us that the first interview, she didn't even talk about the snacks. She just basically said they went out to BJ's, then after BJ's, they went to the bowling alley, went to the steakhouse, and came home. He went to bed at 9. She was on the phone with Chris. She was reading her book. She was studying for her school. She was falling asleep on Chris, and Chris told her on the phone, go ahead and go to bed. You need to go to bed, honey, blah, blah, blah. And so she turns off the phone and goes to bed. And she wakes up around 6 o'clock, as she always does, and went into Sebastian Rogers' room, and he wasn't there. And she's like, oh my gosh, I can't find my son, right? So she calls Christopher Proudfoot within 3 minutes. Specifically, she says within 3 minutes, she's on the phone with Chris Proudfoot. I can't find our son, honey. I don't know where he is. And so he's like, well, did you look here? Did you look here? And she even says, I even went to the kitchen to see if he might be making himself something, right? So none of us are the wiser. So I was like, okay, sounds pretty, what happened to make a 15-year-old boy walk out of the house without shoes? We still never got an answer to that. Still, all these weeks later, we still don't have an answer as to why she believes this boy went outside that house on his own recognizance, on his own will. She's never been able to answer that. What specific evidence does she have he walked out of that house? He has no shoes. He didn't take anything with him. And she says that he has like a little keychain light. I mean, the thing probably isn't much bigger than, say, something like this. This is probably about the biggest it would be that she's talking about. So we start looking, and then comes the hands. They're getting beat up because, people out here deal with this all the time. We smell BS a mile away, and obviously people were picking up on the BS stench of the Proudfoot. So they did this. They didn't want to put their face on camera because the behavior panel just did their episode on them. So what do? They decided to do another interview, but it's just the hands. And you can kind of see them like it looked like her knuckles. We needed to watch the hands. We'll do it another time. We'll do it when I get back from Illinois. But we need to watch that. Now, her knuckles, I remember seeing them, and they were almost white. Like white knuckles. And I think it was because they were so nervous getting that interview. But you kept seeing them like kind of squeeze, and her hands move a little bit, and all this other stuff. But they only had the hands interview. And they basically basically told the story over again, as they did in the green shirt interview. But then what happened is Chronicles of Olivia was out there at Riley Strange. She happened to hear about this other boy that was missing, and she really, truly just wanted to help get his name out there. She meets these people. She tells me that they were the nicest people in the world. Their house was clean. They looked like great people. They were nice. They were attentive. They were kind. You know, we had that issue where he said he didn't like hip hop, and it kind of gave us that racist vibe. So I asked Olivia, I said, how did Mom feel about this? You know, what was the thing? She said they were the nicest people in the world. Had nothing bad to say about them. Would never imagine in a million years that this family could or would be responsible for harming a child. They seemed very kind and genuine and nice. That's what she told me. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to tell you what she didn't tell me. She would never have thought this. And so I let her know. I said, you realize they lied in your interview. And she's like, what do you mean? I said, well, we never heard that they were driving around. We never heard that she left the house. As a matter of fact, in the very first interview, that green shirt interview, they specifically said that he doesn't typically go out. And now all of a sudden she's driving around a community and going to a school when she told us she never left the house. Like almost specifically told us she never left the house. And then now she has. So I don't like any of that. That right there is glaring problems for me. It's glaring problems for you. We all know in our gut, this story does not make sense. And every time we come around, they're changing it. Why? Because in my opinion, law enforcement's asking them questions. Think about what Seth just said the other day. He hasn't really been hearing from law enforcement, but he knows they've been communicating a lot with Chris and Katie. So they're going back and forth with Chris and Katie. Every time they give them a story, they go out and verify that story to be true and accurate. If something is not right, they go back to him and say, hey, well, what's up with this? And every time they do that, it just probably so coincides with an interview that they agree to have. Because it's always at those interviews that they agree to have that they interject new information to the public to cover their ass from the lies that they told. In my opinion, allegedly. Right? We also talked about Chris and his time at work and all this other stuff, right? Well, on this Facebook group, which I'm assuming that most of you guys are already a part of, is the mysterious disappearance of Sebastian Rogers. It's got a large following. There's a lot of people in there that are giving their perspective. One of the reasons why I like it, because there's so many people that have an opinion, and their perspective is much different than mine. One lady was in there and said, I don't mean to ask a silly question, right? And I'll pull this up on my phone. I may have to take the background off here. But let me take my background off now, and I'll show you this. I'll read it for you. I can read it on here. Background. Okay, none. There we go. Hey, my office. And then right behind here, it says, believe in the possibilities. Always believe in the possibilities. Okay. So this is what this stuff says. This lady wrote this, and I got to tell you, it kind of made me go, right? I love when people put stuff out there. She says, this is from Jane, so I just want to say publicly, whoever Jane is, thanks for putting this out there. It wasn't a silly question, and I got a lot from it. It says, Jane says, I don't want to sound silly to ask, but do they have any train stations nearby Sebastian's home by any chance? If he walked out and wandered off, could he have gone to the train station or near one on an adventure? And she says, sorry, I know the idea. I have no idea. Oh, I have no idea what it's like in his area. Sorry, it was a little misspelling there. But the problem is like she thinks it's a silly question, right? And I'm looking at this like, why didn't I think of that? Like, I have not looked into the possibility of him taking trains. But you know what? Because of her comment in there, it made me say, wow, right? So we do have, let me put it up here. We do have trains. They're not quite in the area. Like this up here is this little red dot right, what am I doing? Right there. That's the Hendersonville area. And as you see, the best stuff, the trains are all on the outskirts. So I don't know how far away from this it is from their house, but it seems like an awfully long walk. And so I was looking at maybe transit, is it possible that they have some transit stations that he can just get out of the area, just like your regular transit bus stations. And then of course you're like Greyhounds, but I didn't look up the Greyhounds, but I did look up the bus stops to see if there was any bus stops that he could have gotten on. And there's not really a whole lot inside the Hendersonville area. And again, he's got to go out quite a bit to get to some of them. So I'm not sure if those are viable options or not. But I just thought it was really interesting because this poor lady thinks that she's asking a silly question. And I'm thinking, why didn't I, if it wasn't for her silly question, I wouldn't be looking into those aspects. So there are no silly questions. There are no dumb questions, and there are no dumb answers when it comes to this stuff, because we're trying to figure out what happened. And all of these details matter. Could he have taken a bus? Could he have taken a train? Yeah, he could have. And it's something that we haven't looked into, at least me personally. So now I'm able to look into another avenue to find out if it holds water or not. It's amazing to me. And this is all, this person here, I doubt has a channel. I doubt she's a cyber sleuth. I doubt she, she's just a person that cares about the case, that's just thinking about it and hooked in it like the rest of us are. And I'm very thankful for those. So if you guys have any ideas, you guys have any of those silly questions, or, let me know what those silly questions are, because I can guarantee they're probably not silly to me, So we're going to open up the phone line. Let me go ahead and get my background on so you guys can see the number. Give me a second. All this fun stuff I got to do. All this fun stuff I got to do. There we go. So there is the phone number right behind me, 724-249-6140. Oh, Mama Shellbell, it's nice to see you, love. So it's, call in if you have any questions. We're going to go ahead and just start going into some of the information that we have, because one of the things is Chris Proudfoot's timeline. He's been very quiet about the timeline. I went through some messages, guys, and he's complaining because people are wanting to know where he has a statement in here about his security cameras, and he refused to answer. This was early on in the case. He refused to answer whether he had cameras on the house or in the house, citing, of course, security reasons for not enlightening us on his security activities. Chris has got an answer for everything, right? Everything is a violation of something, right? You got a missing kid, dude. You have no privacy if you haven't, Mr. Proudfoot. None. Your privacy is gone. You know why? Because you lost a boy. That's why. Don't make me get Judge Judy. Knucklehead. So we find out that Chris Proudfoot possibly, let's go ahead and read all this because I took screenshots of this too. You guys know our beloved Evil Exist, right? We love Evil Exist. I love Evil Exist. I don't know how many people here, put a show of raise hands if you guys know of this creator called Evil Exist. Okay, I love Evil Exist. I think she's beautiful. I love her work. I've loved her work for years. I've been a faithful subscriber to Evil Exist literally since the day I have been on YouTube. I love Evil Exist. I love just the explanation, the short bites, the bursts of information. I love it. So this is one thing that they collected and put on this latest. It's called, if you guys want to go over there and watch it in its entirety, it's called Christopher Proudfoot, Co-Worker Speaks. And he has, or Evil Exists, which is Emma. She has some screenshots from the friends. And this is what it is. So Thomas is a person that apparently works with Christopher Proudfoot. I don't know if he's with the same company, if he's a subcontractor. I don't know. But apparently this Tom guy, he says, I'm working at St. Jude's. CP was operating the crane for us on February 26. I had issues with his performance and his attitude and demeanor all morning. Now, this is on February 26th. This is the morning that everybody found out that Sebastian Rogers was not home. That he walked out the door with no shoes on. A kid that doesn't leave without shoes. Just put that out there. But they know for a fact he walked outside of that home. So he had demeanor issues, attitude issues, performance issues all morning, so bad that this guy requested him to be removed. Remember, we were told by Chris Proudfoot that he had to wait for somebody to relieve him so he could go home. That's not what's being said here. He displayed crappy crappy employment behavior, so much so they basically said, you know what, F you, go home. We're tired of your crap. That's what we're hearing. So then the next thing is, when did he leave? Because I brought up him coming home after 1 p.m. when his child was missing seemed really long. And everybody's like, well, he didn't leave right after that. You know, I thought he was on the road by 7:30. And everybody's like, no, he wasn't. And I thought, well, that's kind of odd. Well, this right here kind of bodes in that timeline, because he would have been arriving at home around 1 if he left by 10, 11, 12, 1, right? So it was about 9:30 to 10. He would have been kicked off that job. They also said that they did not start work that day until 7 a.m., which is another theory that I had, if you guys recall. I said, I don't see where he could possibly start work at 6 o'clock in the morning, that it's most likely 7 or after. I don't remember when I said that. I just remember having several conversations about that at some point. So now we're getting kind of clarification that Christopher wasn't on, let's put this in perspective, because we know we have been lied to from the gate. And that's what really ticks me off. That's what really angers me. Like, I'm a person, if you just tell me the truth and it's bad news, I will be angry. I may even raise my voice, but I respect the fact that somebody just told me it up front. When you lie to me, it frustrates me. It makes me have to worry about from that point on, every time you open your mouth, I'm going to have to wonder whether you're telling me the truth or you're lying to my face yet again. Chris has lied to us over and over and over again. He told us that he was on that crane when his wife called him at 6:03 in the morning. We've got people corroborating information with us that says he did not get on that crane to 7. That means the whole entire conversation, if that information is accurate, true, and correct, that means Christopher Proudfoot was never on the crane the entire time he was speaking to law enforcement and his wife that morning. He didn't get on that crane until after that was done. Now, that blows my mind. That absolutely blows my mind. They also said, I just saw that he's back to work on night shifts. So they're not having him on day shifts anymore. He's on night shifts. I just want to let you know, Chris Proudfoot, FYI, bullies. Betty's a 24/7 type of chick. So you can do night shift, day shift, doesn't really matter. Just saying. Just saying. If you want to talk to me, Chris, I'm still always open to give you a little platform to correct some of these inconsistencies that we can continue to see from you and your wife every single day, every single week. We are sick and tired of it. So we've got that. He says, Thomas, reply to your comment. He is back to working at St. Jude's Project. So he's back at the St. Jude's Project. Now it comes to another lie he told us, right? It comes to another lie Chris Proudfoot told us. What lie is that? It was the lie that he said that he was basically told by his boss not to come back until this is all resolved. So much so that he had to go back the next day, February 27th. He had to be gone the entire day to go get his camper because he needed to be off that job. Well, I just find it suspect that within a few days of him having to go get this camper, that camper is parked right back where it was. Then it was brought home again. Then they ran off again. What do they keep going, bringing the camper back and filling? What are they filling in the camper to keep taking back and forth to Mississippi? Because something's being transported. That's what I believe. Because why waste the gas to bring the camper back if you're just going to be staying there anyways? It doesn't make sense. Normal people don't act this way. That behavior's sus. But it's not evidence. That's the problem. It's sus, but it's not evidence. And so this is the last one I've got. It says, that is interesting to know he's back at St. Jude's now. And Thomas writes back and says, unfortunately, I saw his truck. Yeah, and they say, yes, unfortunately. So I don't think he's liked by his peers. Call me crazy, but It doesn't sound like his peers that he works with are really gelling with him, just to let you know. And so this guy says, yes, unfortunately, I saw his truck in the parking lot this evening when I left work. So we got confirmation as to why the truck's unhooked from the camper, why we never see him leave. It's because we're checking on them during the day, not at night. Where's Katie? Did Katie go back home, or is she staying in the camper all by herself at night? Seems a little scary when you got a lot of boogeymans coming after you guys. Just saying. Just saying. I don't know if I'd be in a camper all alone, Katie. Not with us crazy people out here. Good Lord. We wouldn't want you to get those death threats. Those non-death death threats. Those imaginary death threats that you've probably been getting. Actually, I don't know whether they've been getting death threats or not. I'm not going to allege one way or another. I do know that this world is crazy, and the probability of them having disgruntled and angry people calling them, yeah, I can see that happening. I can definitely see that happening. Well, good morning, beautiful. I hope you're doing well. Smiley says, ever notice how nobody is coming out good that knows them saying good things? You know what, Smiley? I got to be honest with you. I was just talking about this yesterday, right? I was bringing up one of my videos. I was bringing up about Quentin Simon. Remember BJ's crazy redneck friends that, were Billy badasses? They just didn't know I was about as redneck as they are. Come get you some. No, I'm just joking. But seriously, I was joking about it because, her best friend came out and, tried to act like she was going to, she wasn't close enough to hit us, but that thing. And so I was teasing him. I'm like, where are their ride and dies? Like, where are their friends that's going to be getting in a truck and be willing to hit Bullhorn Betty? Where are they? I'm sorry. I didn't want to almost get hit by a car. I really didn't. I don't want anything happening to me. But damn, what a good friend, right? I want a friend like that. You need a friend like that. You know what I mean? We don't have that with the Proudfoots. We don't have that with the Proudfoots. Where are their friends that are willing to get in a truck and run over some protesters? That's what I like to know. Where are they? Chris, doesn't sound like you warm up too well to people. I've got a couple friends that get in a truck. I'll tell you that. I'd probably be surprised about at least one or two of them that'd probably get in the truck for me, but I got friends. I got friends. Whiskey Tango says, yes, I've been looking since the first day, missing for any friends or family to come out and speak. I know, that goes to the mattress. The only thing that I've gotten that anybody's done that went to the mattress for the Proudfoots is when I dogged him on his finances and he imitated his neighbor to tell me how wrong I was about his finances. Like, he doesn't understand. Like, I know typing behavior. I know speech pattern. I mean, it was Chris. It was Chris. And then the sweating bullets in the labs live the other day. I was in the lab. He probably couldn't even see me because there was like 1,700 people and there was like crazy. It's just going wild. And somebody was just in there giving him hell. And so I'm like, who's because the lab, Josh never really gets frustrated. He's not like Bullhorn Betty. He's a nice guy. He likes to, coddle people a little bit, but he's strong and rough when he needs to be too. But he's in there and he's kind of feeling a little pressure because there's people beating him up over talking about this case. So I'm looking at this and when I look at it, it's a person by the name of Sweating Bullets. And it's the same pattern that's in my chat as a Anna or Hannah or whatever, neighbor, Nash. His neighbor or something. I don't even know if there's a Nash that lives in the area. Probably shouldn't use your real name because I'll probably knock on your door to ask you if that post is true, just saying. But he does that. He went in there. I put popcorn in there and I said, does anybody believe that Sweating Bullets is Chris Proudfoot, like equals Chris Proudfoot and, the popcorn emojis? Because I'm sitting there saying, this has got to be Chris. This has got to be Chris. I'm going up. I'm looking at all the comments that are for Sweating Bullets and I'm reading them. Damn, this sounds like Chris. So I keep going down and I finally start calling him out. I'm like, Sweating Bullets, are you Chris Proudfoot? And next thing I know, I hear like this Sweating Bullets just disappears. You don't hear him bitching or arguing or anything. He just poofs, is gone. And I'm like, probably was really Chris Proudfoot. I'm sorry, but I was kind of waiting for him to say, "I'm not Chris," blah, 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 and start chewing me out, and I didn't even get that. The person just went away, and I'm like, maybe it was Chris. But it sounds like he's in all these chat rooms, and it's worrying me because if he's having to do all that work himself, he ain't got nobody helping him. And if he got nobody helping him, he's got no friends. He's got no friends, y'all. He got no friends that's willing to come out and stick their neck out for him. I mean, hell, even Billy Joe, she had a pack. They all got cussed out. Don't misunderstand. But she had a pack. These people, they got them. That is, you know what? It's telltale signs of typical abusive behavior, right? This is known to all of us. Why? Because abusers isolate. Abusers isolate. That's why they're able to get away with their DV. Because nobody knows. They don't let anybody close enough to them to know who they are or what they are so they can put that fake persona on when crap's bad and nobody knows the difference. That tells me they were isolating. That tells me there was a lot more abuse in that house than what we know. So, anyways, are people call? I don't even know if the phones, did I turn the phones on? Let me make sure phones are on. Because I don't think they are. Somebody might have been calling. I'm sorry if you guys have been calling and I haven't. My phones, my ringers haven't been on, guys. Give me just a second. Let me get these ringers on. Sometimes it does that with when I hook up my phone. I don't know what it is. I need to try to disconnect this. I don't know why it connects to this thing, but it connects it to as a microphone. You know how like when this turns on and you guys hear me drowned out and you guys were saying that I'm in a silo? It's because my cell phone, when it's on Google Voice, my cell phone microphone was kicking on. Not this. Really weird. Really weird. If she can fight, she's probably the only one being the abuser. She can still kick his butt. And you know what, Amy? It's kind of funny that you say that because we were looking into her past. Now, I have not seen, if anybody wants to send me her LinkedIn resume, I'll take a look at it. I haven't looked into that because I've been looking at maps and stuff. But I got to tell you, when it came to Katie, I heard she had, oops, sorry. Hold on, give me just a second. Combat and martial art training. Can somebody confirm that for me? Does she have combat and martial art training? Oh, sepsis. It is so nice to see you, love bug. Oh, and by the way, we were a little late today because, and I should have probably done it yesterday, but I didn't. Our friend Chris, which is one of my mod's husbands, he turned a year older, and so I just wanted a big shout out to my favorite hot dog in the whole world. Chris, we love you. Happy birthday. Keep getting younger. Keep getting younger, my friend. Keep getting younger. So that really is all I have today. I don't have a whole bunch, but we did confirm that it appears that Chris even lied about him being at work. And when he was on, the crane. And it sounds like must be a supervisor because he was able to get him thrown off the job of some sort. But it just makes me wonder if they're saying the 7 o'clock is true. That means Chris, the whole entire time, he was on the phone with Katie. He was most likely sitting in his own camper. Because he didn't have to even be to work until 7 a.m. I'd like to know when he actually arrived at work, if he was there on time or if he was running late. We know he was in a bad mood. We know he was in the bad mood, so much so that they kicked him off the job between 10 and 11, which is why he got home so late that day. So there must have been a lot of contention there. And then Chris wants to go back the very next day and get his camper from a third party. Like I thought it was on the St. Jude's property. You know, some people, they do have people that sleep on those construction sites if they're shut down at night to make sure that nobody, you know, messes with their equipment, steals supplies, you know, goes there and stuff like that. So they do have people that just they'll let stay on there in trailers or campers or something like that to keep an eye on things. So I just naturally thought that was the situation at hand when it came to Chris Proudfoot. I thought he was there on campus. Come to find out he wasn't. He was in a third-party campground that he was paying separately from them. And even if he wasn't, he could have called them in and said, here's my credit card. I can't come back and get my camper. The camper has some value to it. I don't know what the value is. I really, truly believe he used that to store Sebastian somehow, some way. I feel like it was used to transport evidence somehow, some way. I don't know why, but he's the one that signaled this camper was important. And the reason why I'm looking at it as it's important is because he's the one that made it an important factor, because he stopped everything he was doing while his son was missing, his boy. Even though it's his stepson, he calls it his boy, right? To all of us. His son is missing, and his camper was so much more important than the missing child. So he made it a point for us to look at that camper. He made it a valuable point. So that's where I'm at with that. So I don't know what's going to happen. Maybe we get some good news. Maybe we don't. But I hope we find Sebastian. If anybody can get a hold of Seth, if he has an area that he can't get to, if he needs resources, all he's got to do is ask. I'm telling you, he's got a huge army of people behind him, people with huge platforms, willing to help. Absolutely 100% willing to help him. Whatever he needs, we're here. You need a boat? We'll get you a boat. You need a semi? We'll get you a semi. You need scaffolding? You need to climb a wall? We'll build you a damn a ladder. Tell us what you need. We'll get you what you need. If it's going to bring Sebastian home, we'll do what it takes. That's all I'm saying. So make sure that if you guys have in with Seth, talk to him regularly or anything like that, all he's got to do is ask. We're here for him. I promise you. We want to bring his son home. We'd love to bring his son home safely. But if he has an idea where his son's at, we'll upend the earth to find him. I can tell you that. So that's all I have, guys. I know I told you I wouldn't stay here very long with you guys. I've stayed here for 40 some odd minutes. I've got to get to work. I got a lot of work to do today and a lot of work to do tomorrow. You might not hear from me. I may throw a video out. I can tell you tomorrow I'm flying. Thursday or Wednesday I'll be in court all day, and Thursday I'm flying back. So for 3 solid days, you guys might not see me. I'm safe. I'm okay. I will, at night, I'll make sure I check in with everybody just to let you know I'm doing okay and I'm safe. We are going for a protective order because I feel unsafe, right? So I'll keep you guys abreast of, where I'm at and that I'm safe. So that's it. Guys, you have an amazing day. God bless you. Happy Manic Monday. If you guys hear of any breaking information, please don't forget to reach out to me at bullhornbetty@gmail.com, bullhornbetty@gmail.com. Don't forget to rock it out with your coffee beans out, babes. I will see you later. God bless. And don't forget to be kind because this world is crazy. And there's too much evil and hate in it. And we're watching it unfold every single day on these channels. God bless.